Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We were driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Western Wayne Wildcats football. Joining us is the head coach, Donnie McDonough. Well, Donnie, you guys work hard in the offseason. Last year, you guys struggled a little bit, and many teams are trying to improve this year. And I'm sure that's the goal number one is, hey, improve where we were last year, not only in the wins and losses, but you want to improve your performance on the field. Tell us about the offseason, how things went for the Wildcats.
This offseason was much better than last year. Last year being hired in April and May, we were off to a late start getting the weight room up and running and coaching staff. So after last season, it was nice to get right in the weight room in the wintertime and move forward, having the staff in place and the kids working together in the weight room and having some mini camps throughout the offseason. We put together a 5 7-on-7 scrimmage schedule this summer, along with a rigorous 4-day-a-week workout plan. So we definitely put in our time in preparation for this upcoming season.
Well, Coach, it seems like many other schools in northeastern Pennsylvania, the numbers is an issue. Tell us about how many guys you have suited up, and of course, you want to be as competitive as you could in competing in AA.
Yeah, absolutely. We are down from AAA this year, which is a good spot. It's where we want to be. Our numbers aren't exactly where we want to be, and talking to a lot of coaches this offseason, we're pretty much all in the same boat. We're gonna play with 35 guys on our roster, and like I said, this it's tough. I mean, it's definitely a culture changing thing at Western Wayne, trying to get people to buy on to the commitment and the things that need to be done in the off season, and especially now these 2 weeks of camp. So we finally have all 35 guys on board at practice, working hard, and we got to get as much in these 2 weeks before our first game with North Pocono.
Donnie McDonough, Western Wayne Wildcats football here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Well, Donnie, after looking at your schedule, I got one word, and it seems to be bubble, because not only are you guys kind of on the bubble, and your season could go one way or another, but looking at most of the teams on your schedule, it seems that way as well. Some teams may have not had a win last year. They could have 5 wins. They could have 2 wins. It's really an up for grabs kind of thing. And when you look at it, I guess you got to just approach it week by week, and hopefully you guys get better and can approach each game and improve. With some of these teams you're gonna play, the records may not indicate it, but it looks like every game looks like a challenging one.
Yeah, absolutely. When we moved down to AA, we were hoping that we were going to get a schedule that we can manage with low numbers. Obviously everybody's trying to stay healthy, but we beefed up our scrimmage schedule. We just scrimmaged Wallenpaupack and Valley View, 2 AAA schools, because we do open with North Pocono and Tunkhannock back-to-back, and they're both, very good AAA schools, a lot of numbers. So we had to kind of prepare ourselves for those bigger type schools in our scrimmage schedule. So moving forward, it's going to be a tough schedule. We're just going to try to, take it one week at a time and try our best to stay healthy.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. I think these first 2 weeks, you're playing AAA teams. Both of those teams are looking for improvement. They have a lot of starters back and think it's going to be a better year for them. But when push comes to shove, I think it's a coin flip to see which way those kind of games are going to go. But when you get into the meat of the AA teams, I mean, you got some new coaches on the schedule this year, and you're going to have to learn a little bit about Dr. Lucella, what he does at Montrose with that type of offense. John Fox, what type of scheme he's going to run at Riverside.
Absolutely. Every year's a new challenge. It's nice, when I came on last year, was really accepted with open arms in the coaching realm. And it's nice to, have some new guys at other schools. It presents a new challenge every year, and I think that's what makes it exciting for not only the kids but the coaches to kind of draw things up and look at our schemes and try to prepare.
Donnie, how about on the offensive end? Tell us about some of the players you're excited about that looking to make some plays this year, whether it's up front or at the skill positions.
Well, last year, even though we struggled with a 3-7 schedule, we only lose a few guys, one key guy being Jason Figueroa. We have a lot of guys coming back, young guys still, but a lot of experience playing last year. Starting out with Matt Witt, he's a 2-way offensive and defensive lineman. He brings the most experience from the last 2 or 3 years. He's one of my captains. He's getting some Division I AA looks, which is exciting for Matt. He definitely deserves it. Next guy I would like to talk about is Kyle Haines. He was my starting quarterback last year as a junior, another team captain. He's going to make the move to wide receiver this year because we bring on sophomore quarterback Scotty Walck. They're kind of doing a flip on the offensive side. Scotty played with wide receiver last year as a freshman and was one of Kyle Haynes' top targets. They're going to flip. I think it's a good fit for the entire offense. They've built a good chemistry together, and we're hoping for those three guys to have a breakout year on the offensive side of the ball.
How about on the defensive side, Coach? Tell us about the type of scheme that you guys run, and who are some of the players you have high expectations for there?
We run a 4-3 over front, kind of a college-style defense. We play a quarters coverage. I think it allows us to be kind of balanced to defend the pass and the run. Matt Witt is going to anchor that defense at our 3 technique. One of our best defensive linemen we have. We're going to rely on him to be up front and stop the run game. Our linebackers, even though they got a lot of experience last year, they're young, and they kind of bounced around all 3 different, our Mike, our Sam, and our Will position. So we're still kind of seeing who's going to step up. Brandon, too, is a kid who's only going to be a junior. He's also our starting tight end from last year. He did some nice things for us this past weekend in the scrimmage, stopping a lot of the inside run game. So we're going to rely on him to anchor those linebacker corps. Scotty Walck, as I mentioned, he's our starting strong safety. As a freshman last year, he led the team in tackles. And, he doesn't act like a sophomore on the field, and obviously that's why we're going to put him in the position as a sophomore as our starting quarterback. And once again, Kyle Haynes will be one of our top defensive backs, along with Kyle Smith and Courtney Harp. 2 kids, they definitely are dynamic and very well at defending the passing game.
Well, we look forward to seeing the Western Wayne Wildcats hit the field. As you mentioned, some good scrimmages lined up there. Wallapapack and Valley View right off the bat. And, of course, Wallapapack in the books and getting ready for Valley View as we approach the start of the regular season. Donnie, thank you for your time and a lot of success this year.
Thanks, John.
Donnie McDonough and Western Wayne Wildcats football here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.